Okay, so I've talked about eating whole grains. Now I'm assuming you're thinking that, okay, now that I can eat whole grains, I can eat more. I don't have to reduce my portions. But that's not true. Unfortunately, whole grain has a lot of benefits, but they have pretty much the same calories, almost as much as a regular grain would have. So even if you're switching to whole grain, you still have to maintain your portions. But you might be wondering then, why switch, right? If I should still be eating the same amount, and if it's pretty much the same calories, why am I even switching? Why should I switch? Other than the health benefits we have out there. Let me show you this video. I made this video a few weeks ago, and I'm gonna try to share this with you. The reason why I put the breads in orange juice is to mimic the acid in our stomachs. So I wanted you to get an idea what happens when a white bread or a refined bread or a whole grain bread goes in your body and goes in your stomach. What happens? Now, if you saw, it was on real time, and in the 5 minutes, the white bread started breaking apart, and the whole grain bread didn't start breaking apart that easily even after 5 minutes. That's the difference. And that's basically why whole grain bread is better for you, because many reasons, but one of them is it increases satiety. Remember the hormones we talked about in the beginning, where the feeling of fullness, because whole grain breads have fiber. Now, the functions of fiber, one of the good things about fiber is you can't absorb it. So your body doesn't give you any calories, because it's just extra bulk, but it doesn't really do anything to give you any extra calories. Okay, so, and fiber, like you're noticing in the video, the brown bread started soaking up all this orange juice, and there's a lot less orange juice in the whole bread plate than in the white bread plate, because it's soaking up that. So fiber acts like a sponge. It absorbs water. Remember how I talked about bran being absorbed, having the fiber absorb water and was making food moldy. But that's good when it goes in our body, because it absorbs water, it absorbs the fat that we're eating, and it takes it and it goes and gets and throws itself out when you go to the bathroom. So that's a good thing, because it also absorbs the fats, the oils, the cholesterol, and it takes it and removes it. And that's why we have a lot of benefit with fiber. Now, this is in your workbook, and I want you to answer this. But the benefits of fiber, especially those that are coming from whole grain, there are other places the fiber comes from, but the best went from whole grains. One of the benefits of the fiber is it increases the feeling of fullness. So you feel full. If you ate a white bread, let's say at breakfast, you probably will start feeling hungry in an hour or so. But if you ate a whole wheat, whole grain bread, you will feel hungry maybe 2 hours later or something. So it holds you off for the next meal, and that's good. And it doesn't give you any extra calories by doing that. And because you feel full from this whole grain, you tend to reduce your portion. So if you ate a white rice, for example, a one plate full of white rice, you will be full in half of the brown rice, and you will want less. See, now you've reduced the calories just because you're reducing your portion, because you feel full. So it doesn't automatically reduce your calories through the food, but because it makes you full, we naturally want to eat less, because we don't feel the need to eat a lot more. So that's why it's better. If you had to choose white over brown, choose brown rice, because it's more filling. It adds bulk to our food without adding the extra calories. It reduces cholesterol, because it absorbs the fat, it absorbs the bile and your body has to use its own cholesterol to make the bile again. So that way it's reducing cholesterol from two different sides. So let me just expand that. So when you eat fat, there's bile, and bile is made out of cholesterol. So and when you're eating fiber, the fiber will absorb that bile, and you usually have a darker colored stool when you go to the bathroom. But that's good, because when the bile is removed from your body, then your body has to make bile from cholesterol. So where is it going to do it? It's going to take it from the cholesterol from your blood, and it'll make extra bile. That way you have less cholesterol from in the blood, and then less cholesterol from the foods that you're eating. It improves digestion. You have a lot better bowel movements when you eat more fiber. Fiber acts like a prebiotic. It helps your good bacteria in your stomach to flourish because the fiber doesn't get absorbed. It goes in the intestines and it helps give food to the good bacteria, which eventually makes you more immune, more healthy, and so on. I want you to think about it yourself because we don't have enough time to go through it, but I want you to think about how many servings are you actually getting in and how much are you willing to do. My recommendation is, so planning, when it comes to meal planning, the step one is try to make sure going forward, at least one time a day you're eating a whole grain. So for example, if you're planning, maybe pick, this is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So let's say at breakfast, you decide a few days a week you'll have whole grains. That could be oats, that could be brown bread, whole wheat bread, or stuff like that. And then let's say one day a week in dinner or in lunch, you can start eating a whole grain or experiment with a whole grain. The second step is start limiting the refined grains that you use in dinner. So let's say you're eating rice, instead of eating white rice, instead of eating white rice every day, make it 3 days a week and make sure the rest of the week you start experimenting with different types of whole grains. You've seen the list, so I want you to think about what you can do, what grains you can try, and then make sure that the other 4 days you have a whole grain. It doesn't have to always be brown rice. It could be whole wheat pasta. It could be quinoa. It could be, the millet and polenta. There are a lot of other options. So think about that and plan. So in general, that's okay. That could be one of your options, but then you want variety. We all need to have more variety in our diet. So different types of whole grains will make up for the missed calories, the missed vitamins, the missed minerals that we need. Okay.